Today we're looking at Marvel HeroClix Iconix Thanos Snap on Way I Got It Figured.
The way I got it figured.
What's up, HeroClix fans? Way I Got It Figured back with another HeroClix unboxing. I know it's been a while since I've tackled a HeroClix subject, did a HeroClix video. But this one was one that I was definitely always going to do. I've been waiting for this for a while. We have the Thanos Snap figure from HeroClix Iconix. So right off bat, what is HeroClix Iconix? These are premium figures that are moments in time in comics across DC, Marvel. Who knows, they might open it up to other things at the at some point, but for now it's DC, Marvel, iconic moments, memes, things of that nature. While I don't plan to get every single Iconix, I am invested enough to get roughly half of them. So I do have the Spider-Man set, and I'm gonna do a video for that. It'll probably be this month, or maybe next month. It'll be on the schedule for next month. But this one just came in the mail. It was just released by Wizkids, so I definitely wanted to get a video up for it. Get some more HeroClix content on the channel. So you get it in this premium sort of packaging. Nice renders of Thanos from the Infinity Guantlet. They've got some text on here. This particular Thanos is definitely from Infinity Gauntlet #1, when he snapped his fingers and ended the lives of half of the universe. So you have this nice sort of bookcase type deal. Got your Thanos figure in there. And then you have your actual text, which definitely, that's the text you want to read. And your text reads, all 6 Infinity Gems have been assembled. The time is now. More than 30 years ago, the Mad Titan Thanos eliminated half of all life in the universe with the snap of his fingers and changed the cosmic world forever. Thanos Snap brings the inevitable power of the Infinity Gauntlet to perfectly balance any HeroClix collection. HeroClix Iconix showcases iconic moments, characters, and stories from the comics universe, each made specifically for collectors and super fans. And of course, they got this QR code that if you'd like to scan it, you can see what's going on with that. Probably has further releases, and one of these days, I guess I'll check it out. I have not so far. But that's your package. It's nice enough. We'll take a closer look at the actual figure and then look at his card and see kind of what we can do with him in the game of HeroClix. Because for me, that's what it's all about. Collecting, static figures doesn't really do much for me. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so here's a view of our live figure as he is once you release him from the package. And he has the Snap icon attached to him. They've done figures like this at different times, and you want to protect a figure like this. So he's definitely, these Iconix packages are made to kind of protect the figure. So he's got this this shield, and it's definitely the best place to keep him. I certainly wouldn't, keep him loose. unless, you know, he was standing on a shelf somewhere, which I do have some HeroClix on a shelf. But for transporting them, to play in a game, if you're not playing at your house, probably going to want to hang on to the box. The HeroClix figure is very, very well detailed. It's very nice, based off of George Perez's art from Infinity Guantlet #1. But this just to show a close-up of the figure, because he's very small, and it's a very, very nice figure. Okay, so we've got Thanos' card here. So if you're new to HeroClix, each figure has a dial, and you click the dial when the character takes damage in some way, shape, or form, mostly through, you know, combat, the actual direct combat mechanic of the game. That's what the game is about. This game is superhero combat. But they have the dial on the card so that you can see it. It used to be on the back of the card, but now it's on the front. So everybody gets to see. It was always supposed to be that HeroClix was a game where everybody could see, you know, your hand is always open in a sense. So putting the stat block on the front of the card actually makes a little bit of sense. I know there are those that don't really like it, but, you know, that's the way it goes. So he has one trait on the front of his card, and it shows that he's a sort of locked, unique figure. I don't know what this lock is for. Thanos. He has the following keywords. You can see here: Black Order, Eternal, Minions of Thanos, Cosmic Deity, Monster, and Ruler. So when you play what's called a theme team, and I'm saying this kind of for the people in the back and not the people who already play HeroClix, you can arrange your teams via theme teams, and you get a bonus for initiative. So whoever rolls the highest in a game of HeroClix when you go to start the game gets to choose whether to go first or second. And by putting figures that have keywords that match, you only need one keyword to match. You can create a theme team amongst all your characters, and one character can be a theme team as well. Then you have traits, and he has a trait here. So a trait is something that doesn't show up on the dial. It's just a power that the inherent to the character, an ability inherent to the character. So we've got the gauntlet completed, free. Choose a standard power on Thanos' card. Thanos can use the chosen power until your next turn. So what that tells you is any of these powers, or any of these colors, each color denotes a power, and he can choose to use any power that's on his dial, whether it's on the click or not. So obviously, you always want to pick something that's not on this current click. So he starts on click 1. If he's on click 1, then he's not going to have access to anything, you know, from click 2 on that he doesn't already have access to. So like Perplex or Running Shot or Mind Control, he can pick any of those powers. One power till next turn. As I mentioned before, he's on 150 points, and that's the only option to get him. So in a standard 300-point game, he is approximately half of your force. And I'll get into how you're going to win a game with this guy in a bit. He's got another trait on the back, Snap. When Thanos takes damage, give him a gem token for each click of damage taken. Power. Once per game, remove 6 gem tokens from Thanos. If you do, each player divides their opponent's forces character cards into 2 piles. Each player then chooses a pile of their own forces cards. Deal 3 unavoidable damage to all characters other than Thanos whose cards are in those chosen piles. So what's happening here is you're gonna take half your force that's not Thanos and put it into 2 piles. And then the ones that are in the pile that's chosen are going to take 3 unavoidable damage. So it doesn't matter what defensive powers they have, or they have impervious, invincible, whatever. They're taking 3. End of story. Which actually bypasses stop clicks. So he also has another power, and this is on his defense. You should have gone for the head, stop, and vulnerability. So stop means if this click is revealed from taking damage from an attack, stop, turn in a dial. That power is here on his 17 defense. So he could stop, and if he survives the turn some kind of way, he could choose regeneration, and then he could heal back up somewhat slowly, but he could do it just by choosing regeneration. And then he has the cosmic energy keyword, which gives him willpower. And the character has safeguard outwit, which means that none of his powers can be countered via outwit. Okay, so Thanos is, he's pretty cool. Oh, I'm sorry, he also has the other trait of he can make ranged attacks ignoring whether he's based or not. So if somebody's adjacent to him on a HeroClix map, he can still shoot at somebody else who's not involved in being adjacent. So how do you play this guy? What are you going to do to make this guy worth the 150 points that you put him in a 300 point game context? Well, his support's going to be key, so you're going to want to support him with somebody that's going to, characters that are going to help him out. So he can choose probability control, but it's always, better to have somebody outside of him to be able to do that. So you might want to find somebody who has probability control. He has perplex, so you can always choose perplex. So it's not necessary for you to get perplex for him, but if you can, you should. He has close combat expert or range combat expert, so he can do more damage than what his 3 damage is doing here. But at 150 points, a character that has a base 3 damage, it's going to be not necessarily easy to accumulate points. So what you want to do, honestly, is probably, attack the weak fish so that you can get points for them, and then try to protect your guys, protect the support network for Thanos, because he has cosmic energy, 1 object that you can use, 1 piece of equipment that you can equip to him is the super soldier serum for 5 points, which will give him +1 to his willpower rolls. That's kind of an easy one. But for my money, I actually think that the 30-point Infinity Guantlet that allows him to pick powers that came with the Chase Iron Man, that allows him to pick powers, would actually probably be a little bit better, because then he could pick something on his dial, but he could pick, any power, or maybe even 2, depending on how well he rolls with the Infinity Gauntlet. So, you can pick an energy shield deflection to make it harder for him to get hit. You can pick shape change to make it where maybe he doesn't even get hit. You can choose outwit so that you can take away powers that might hurt him some kind of way. You can give him charge. There's a lot of things you can do if you have the Infinity Gauntlet, because he can pick any power and not just be limited to the ones on his dial. And as a fair amount of, and you know, as a critique, because he has all these clicks of sidestep, they could have at least given him one click of charge, since they gave him close combat expert, but they didn't. So so yeah, you know, I would probably, I think Ruler has a lot of guys that are 50 to 60 points, maybe less, where they can get the powers that you need to support him in a 300 point game, because that's what it's really going to come down to, his support. He's not going to really do it all himself. Not to say he's a terrible figure, but his damage is middling, so you know, he's not exactly blowing you away. And once he takes 6 damage, you know, that will put him on click 7, where he's here. So you're definitely going to want to do some healing back. You know, you don't want to be here, because once he gets to click 7, it's actually fairly easy to get rid of him. You shoot him, have Psychic Blast or something, and he's on a stop click, and then somebody can just hit him off the stop click, and he's out of there. So in a 300 point game, you know, which is the standard HeroClix build, that's how you're going to want to approach this guy. Okay, so that kind of wraps it up for me. Thanos Snap, HeroClix Iconix. The first of a probably small series of videos that I will do. I do have, like I said, I mentioned before, I have the Spider-Man set, and I will do a video for that. There's some DC ones coming down the pike. There's like Nightfall and the Death of Superman, and I will be getting both of those. So yeah, that's about half, I think, of what they're doing for Iconix. There's a couple that I'm not really all that interested in. But then again, if I see them in the store, I might pick them up. Okay, so that's going to do it for this video. And hopefully I'll have another one up for HeroClix fans in a very near future. Till then, if you like the content, want to see more, leave a comment in the comment box down below and subscribe. And, you know, I certainly love HeroClix. I would love to get more HeroClix content in. In the meantime, I do action figure reviews and other sorts of videos that are coming up. So check them out. Consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
The way I got it figured.